Thank you for joining us. This is Adam Pitterman from Eastern New Mexico University Athletic Communications. Joining me today is Andrew Helton, going to his third year as the Greyhound basketball coach. Last year he took us to the Lone Star Conference Championship Tournament for the first time since the 05-06 season, and they will be looking to build on that this year. I'm just going to have a few questions.
Great, thanks, Adam.
Okay. Having reached the conference tournament for the first time in about 5 years, I mean, how do you look to that experience to build on it for this season?
Well, it was really neat for our team. I thought that the Lone Star Conference did as good a job with their conference tournament as any I'd ever been associated with, and it was really neat to be a part of that. And we were grateful that we were able to finish the year strong. Some things worked out to get in there, and right now it's just a case of, you know, as our program has improved over the last 2 years, it's important that that continues. And now we have to get in a position, or try to get our program in a position to compete for a championship. And that's really what we want to do. We want to be in a position to have a chance to win a championship.
Okay, in addition to the returners and the recruiting class you have coming in, this year you see the return of Reggie Nelsons, who was our leading scorer from 2 years ago. What is adding him to the mix gonna mean for the lineup?
Well, it was an incredibly important, I think, addition for us. The one thing that Reggie, I think, does very well and that we missed a year ago was he's a pretty good on-the-ball defender, and that was an area of weakness for us last year and an area that probably cost us basketball games. And I think, first and foremost, that. Second of all, it brings you a guy who's older and experienced, and I think very hungry to be back. And I think he's going to be an extremely important ingredient for our team, and I'm thrilled to have him back. And you know, I think the final thing that Reggie can bring is he can bring the ability to play the point and off the ball, depending on, you know, what we may need. So I'm very happy to have him back.
Okay, and after such a successful year going into this year, what do you think the keys to competing in the Lone Star are going to be this year?
Well, I think first and foremost, through recruiting, and if we were able to stay healthy, is the front court depth will help us compared to a year ago. We were very thin at the 4 and 5 position. We had good players, but we didn't have a ton of guys at those spots. So I feel better about that. I think the other thing that is going to be very, very important, like I mentioned earlier, is our ability to defend, particularly on the basketball. The league it's much like a lot of Division I leagues in that there's a number of quick, very good guards who can break you down, and we have to do a better job of being able to contain some of those guys and keep them out of the lane. So I think you know, with the rebounding, the front court depth, and our ability to guard will all play huge factors in if our program is able to improve and be able to compete for a championship.
Okay, and as usual, you've lined up some Division I opponents for preseason and for in the season. How far does that go as far as preparing for conference play to get them ready?
Well, I think it's good. I think it's good on a lot of levels. First and foremost, from the standpoint of our team is excited to be able to go to UTEP and be able to go to New Mexico State, and then because of the number of guys we have with California backgrounds, to be able to play Long Beach State in a regular season game is huge. And it's an opportunity to compete, and it's an opportunity to compete against good players and very, very good coaches. UTEP and New Mexico State have a history over the last 10 years of being in the NCAA tournament and winning conference championships. So I think, you know, anytime you have an opportunity to go in that setting and to compete against those type of players and those type of coaches, it can do nothing but help your team.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to help preview the team for the Lone Star Conference, and I wish you luck in the upcoming season.
Great. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate you having me.